Hey, welcome to Planet Green. I'm your host, Anastasia Roark. Well, today we're in Brentwood to help a homeowner make her kitchen and garden a little greener. Let's go. We're here today at the home of Amanda Nosel. Amanda is a great steward of the environment already. She drives a hybrid vehicle, uses CFLs, and recycles. But she wants to do more at home to make a difference. So we brought our Planet Green team over here to help her out. Amanda, thanks for having us, and what can we do for you today?
Well, we do what we can, but I have heard a little bit about composting of kitchen scraps, and I thought maybe I would love to do that, but I don't really know where to start.
All right, well, I think we have the perfect project for you. The 3 R's are our guidebook to greening the planet. Reduce, reuse, recycle, in that order. Now, Amanda loves to garden and has many fruit trees, flowers, and organic vegetable patches. So a perfect addition to her garden is a worm bin. A worm bin is a composting tool for any and all cooked or raw vegetarian food scraps, turning it into dark, rich compost called castings, with a little side dish of worm tea. About 35% of all waste taken to landfills is organic material that could be composted. Food scraps only decompose 25% in the first 15 years they spend in a landfill, due to the anaerobic conditions deep in those piles. In a worm bin, it takes care of the first R by reducing landfill waste and the need to buy fertilizer or compost for your garden ever again. They're available commercially at your local sanitation department or online, but we're going to reuse some materials she has lying around, and we're going to recycle as well. So let's get started.
Okay.
Well, we've already gathered our supplies. We've got 2 old Rubbermaid bins with lids that she wasn't using, 2 bricks reclaimed from an old footpath in her yard, newspapers, a little soil, a bucket of water, and the superstars of this show, red wigglers. We're going to start by drilling small 1/4-inch holes around the top third of the bin, too small for the worms to get out, but allowing oxygen to flow freely in the container, which is very important for the composting process. Then we're going to drill a few on the bottom. This will be how the excess moisture gets out and how we collect worm tea, a brown liquid that when diluted with water makes the most perfect liquid fertilizer. The spacing's not really all that important. Just keep the holes about 1 inch apart and about 2 to 3 rows on this upper band of the bin. Is very important for a successful worm bin. You can use newspaper, peat moss, wood shavings, or cardboard, but we're going to use newspaper since Amanda has a lot of it laying around to recycle. We're going to shred it into strips going with the grain. And we need plenty of it. So next we're going to wet these strips in water and squeeze them out so that they're damp, kind of like a wet sponge, and then peel them apart again so they're not matted down. This keeps the environment moist inside the bin and is another source of food for the worms that enriches the castings. We're going to fill the bin about half full with the damp paper and then put a little bit more dry paper on top until the whole container is about 3/4 full. Okay, that's about enough. And kids love this part of the project too. So if you have kids, this is a great project for them to help out with. Perfect. You can experiment with the moisture to find the perfect level. Too dry and the worms won't survive. Too wet and you'll notice them accumulating on the sides and on the lid. Lastly, keep it in a dry, shaded location so that it doesn't overheat. Okay, so now we're going to prop our finished bin on top of the spare bricks in the bottom of the intact bin to catch our drips of worm tea. Perfect. And now it's time to meet our stars, the worms. These are called red wigglers, and they're shipped to you live in these containers from worm farms all over the U.S. We place the worms and a little bit of dirt into one corner of the pile and cover them up. The dirt provides a little bit of grit to help them chew up the food. Now it's time to put them to work, so we add the food scraps. The bin will take any and all raw or cooked fruit and vegetable waste, but no meat, grease, or dairy products. They don't break down properly and they attract pests. And go easy on the citrus peels or the bin will become too acidic. Place the food scraps in one area of the bin with the worms, and they'll flock to it and start working right away. Did you know that worms don't even sleep? Work, work, work. And rotate where you put the scraps in the bin, adding them about once a week. In about 2 to 3 months, you should have a nice, rich, dark compost that your garden will thank you for. And depending on the size of your family, you can use anywhere from 300 to 1,000 worms in your active bin, adding second and third bins as necessary to increase your operation. And voila, Amanda, you are composting.
I'm excited. My vegetables are going to love it.
Absolutely. Taking worms out of their natural environment and placing them in containers creates a human responsibility. They are living creatures with their own unique needs, so it's important to create and maintain a healthy habitat for them to do their work. If you supply the right ingredients and care, your worms will thrive and make great compost for you. Well, that's it. We snap the lid on tightly to the topmost bin, and you are composting. Good luck with your worm bin. Thank you so much for having Planet Green in your home, and we thank you for all you're doing to help improve the environment.
Of course. Thank you for coming by.
Sure. Well, that's it. Join us next week as we go across town and install a gray water system. I'm Anastasia Roark. See you next time on Planet Green.